public speaker, so if I start to blubber at any point, I want you to know it's tears of happiness, not tears of sadness. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Chris for a great ride this morning and wonderful conversation along the road. And I want to thank Tiffany's man behind the wheels, Barry. Where are you? Barry died. Our special friend, and I'm going to tell a story about Barry in a little bit. He doesn't know this. So I hope you'll bear with me because this is a very special year for our family, and I'll tell you about that in a minute too. This is not our first ride. We came out the first year the ride came to Richmond. But we found out about the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation a couple of years before that through that wonderful motorcycle group, Richmond Riders, and through a very special friend of ours, Mary Kilmer. Because Mary was the radiation nurse down at MCV. And she called me one day and she said, Peggy, do you think Tiffany would like to be our poster child for our annual poker run? We raise money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. And that was the first time I'd heard of them. And I thought, well, you know, that doesn't take any time to think about that. That's a win-win situation. So I asked Tiffany, and she said yes. And at the time, Tiffany was in pretty bad shape. And we came out that spring for that poker run to support them on a really gray, drizzly, cold day where most people would have wanted to stay home and roll over in bed. But I looked around and I saw all those smiling faces and I realized that we were doing a good thing too. And that's how we met Barry. As I told you, Tiffany was in really bad shape and she had just started to learn how to walk again. And she wasn't doing it very well. And she didn't talk much because she had lost her ability to speak as well and to use her hands. And everybody was really great to us that day. But Barry says to Tiffany, would you like to sit on my bike? Okay. Would you like to put my helmet on? Yeah. How would you like to take a ride? Well, she wasn't too sure about that. So as any great mother will do, I gave her a little nudge in the right direction. And that was the beginning of our relationship with Barry. And Barry's had a difficult year this year too. He had a heart attack. And so we're really happy that you're here today, Barry. And I thank you so much for you and Diane, how you've cared about our family over the last 4 years. It's been a long, hard road to recovery. Tiffany was diagnosed when she was 13, and as I told you, she had a lot of things to overcome. And she still carries a lot of scars with her that she'll have for the rest of her life. But I'm going to tell you something. The first time we came out here and looked at that long line of motorcycles and saw all your smiling faces, and even though you didn't know us, you were out to raise money for a very important cause close to our heart. And there's not a year that we don't come out that we don't feel the same way. So you may not know us personally, but you do know us. And we're very grateful for all of you and all of your support. I'm happy to tell you that Tiffany's 18 now, and she's going to be graduating from high school on Tuesday. You know, my name is Peggy, but I go by the most distinctive title, and that is Tiffany's mom. That's what everybody knows me. But Tiffany's going on to VCU in the fall into the art program, and so I'm really, really very proud of her. But when she saw how many people went out and gathered money for the organization, she started doing it at her schools too. So I'm really proud of her. Thank you all for the time you take to come out and do something you already love doing. From the bottom of my heart, for all the parents and some that you don't see here today, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always great to see the old faces, and it's really wonderful to see the new ones. Thank you.